Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Zachary Dickinson here. Hope you all have had a wonderful week, and hope you're all having a wonderful and relaxing weekend, whether you're working or you're not working and having an actual weekend. If you're working, sorry about that. If you're not working, you're relaxing, hopefully. And if you're working, then what is your actual weekend if you work on the weekends? Say it in the comments. So today, it's Saturday. It's time for book content. So, I'm gonna be doing a quick little video on a book series that I've read over the past few years, and I know it's probably not gonna get much views or anything. It's a very, very small and little known book. It only has 56 ratings on Goodreads, so it's not really a big book or anything. It's just a series that I love. I would love to get for it to get more attention. But it's also just one of my favorite series. So let's get on into it. This is the Destines series I read, and here's my thoughts. Okay, so what is the Destines series? The Destines series follows a young 15-year-old Harrison Grady as he's about to go into the academy to become one of the Destines, or an elite soldier of sorts for his nation, which is the Destin Nation. About 10 years ago, before the events of the story begins, we have Harrison Grady's father, Douglas Grady, the leader of one of the elite Destin task forces called the Silver Falcons, mysteriously disappearing as they are leaving for a mission and never to be seen again. Harrison wants to find out what happened to his father's task force, and they also uncover many different mysteries about the history of the destination. And so that is more or less the Destin series thus far. Basically, every book, Harrison moves forward in trying to find out what happened with his father's task force, while also finding more and more about the history of the destination, the origins, and whether or not that is true or not, and battling a group of foes that are constantly evolving and gaining in more power. And so then also the power system in this is rather simple. Some people have power, some people don't, and it's mostly just with energy like Kamehameha, or just an energy ball of some sort, and everyone pretty much tries to come up with their own signature move to finish off an opponent by. You grow stronger and stronger the more you harness this type of kind of like key in a way, and you get stronger as you develop that and gain better access to your powers. And so the Destin Academy is is an academy at the destination. Just about every nation, there are 4 or 5 nations, have an academy. And so the series has 3 books out, a fourth supposedly on the way. The first released in 2019, and the third released last year. So 3 books in about 6 years is a really good pace for a series overall, because some, in both TV show and books, some get a book 1 and then 5 to 10 years later is book 2, but this, you have 3 books in a 6-year span, which I find to be good. Would I still like it to be faster? Of course, of course. I want the final book of this series to already be out, but I'm going to trust the author in that, since all 3 have been great books. The third book, The Destines, The Tablets of Truth, is the first book of the 3 that I gave 5 stars. The other 2 were only 4 stars. And it was also the longest, being over 500 pages. And so I very much loved it, and I can't wait for the next part. And what the next mystery, or will this continue the mystery and the evolution from the third book, and even more so from the second book? Each book builds upon the story and elements and mystery involved of the previous book, while adding more mystery into it, and both the bad guys and the good guys are evolving into more. And roughly every book is about a year or so. Like within the academy terms, book one is year one, book two is year two, and book three is year three. So book four could either be year four or a continuation of year three until graduation at the academy. I would also pretty much compare this to Harry Potter, or also any other book series, as Harry Potter is the only one that immediately comes to mind. Any other book series that follows a kid with one or more parents um, disappearing or dying when they're young, and they go to the academy that one or more of their parents went to then at which point they eventually gained their fame. Another book that comes to mind is The Golden Academy by Eric Bowden, another smaller book that I've read. It's also it's the first book of a series where it's very, very similar to Destines series, but completely different power system, and it's basically just like Invincible in a way, in the sense that the power that the main character has is very, very powerful, but he doesn't get it until he's in high school. Harrison Grady also pretty much doesn't get access to his powers until he starts the academy, as he never really properly trained as well. So yeah, that is one of my favorite series of all time, the Destined series. If you're intrigued by it and at all by what I've said today, just go on Amazon for a Kindle or buy it in paperback, and just go ahead and start reading. If you're one of the few people, and I mean few, that have actually read this, please comment below and let's start a conversation about whether you liked or disliked this. There are only 56 ratings for the first book, 35 for the second book, and 8 for the third book. So, I mean, there's always going to be a fall off after the first book in every series. And the third book has only been out a year, whereas the first has been out for 6. And so, yeah, there's always chance for it to blow up eventually, but this is one of my favorite series of all time. I also haven't read too many series, and most of my series involve Star Wars, Christian, Destines, or one or two others. So it's not really too many series, but still, I believe that this one may be one of my favorites for quite a while. So, I thank you all for watching. If you have been watching, or if you just watched for even 2 seconds, I thank you all so much. Like the video if you've liked it. Comment below if you didn't like it to give me thoughts on how I can better improve these videos. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Comment below something, whether it's just talking about when your actual weekend is, your thoughts on this book series, whether or not you've been intrigued by it, or just something general anyways. I'm more than happy to talk with y'all in the comments. But anyways, I'll see you all Monday for MCU Phase 6 of the Multiverse Saga. Goodbye and God bless.